Okay, so this is with my adapter I just made. Since I'm out of pins, there's only 4 remaining pins. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm having to combine. So player 1, I just put together my adapter. This is player 1. Still need to go do it for player 2, player 3, and player 4. But yeah, so you'll see the colors here are the same. And somewhere in this rat's nest is right here. That's this is the adapter I made. That's then taking one of the sets of pins. So it's 4 total pins. There's power, red, green, blue, and then it splits it to be shared by these. So that's that. And it is incredibly difficult. I'm using a 20 gauge approximately. Yeah, I believe it's 20 gauge wire. It's thick, so it's pretty hard to fit into a 2.54 female plastic connector header thingamabobber. I'd have to go remember the part name again. But anyways, yeah, it is quite the feat to cram it in there. And so that's actually like the most time consuming part. And then I'm going to be replacing this button since I had burned out the red when I was testing. I'll replace this, and then this button is going to end up being probably, I'm gonna have to make like a stateful circuit, so it'll be a separate microcontroller that is then I'll probably just use this button since red no longer works. I don't want to throw it away or anything. Maybe I'll try to rip out that lead and fix it and do whatever, but I'm probably going to use this as a spare button, stick it behind the top up here so I can hit the button, and then have that be a soft power supply. So that would be then what turns the machine on and off. Another trick, if I don't want to go through that much trouble, is mount as read-only and then just kill the power without having to worry about shutdown. But it would be cool and good practice, I guess, to just make a stateful circuit that manages communication and properly turning on and shutting down and relaying power, since this breaks out into 12 volts and 5 volts. And then you've got a 25%, I think it's 25%. I'd have to go look at my some of my notes again, but basically you've got a range of 4.75 to 5.25 volts that you can throw at the microcontroller. Right now the microcontroller is taking 5.1, so I would be trying to buck shift 12 volts down to an even Steven 5 volts, and then the 5 volts is what would go to the microcontroller, and then also to all of these lights. These lights are 5 volt, and then those lights for the quarter buttons are 12 volt, and then everything else is 12 volt, like the LCD screen, the LCD driver. Like, it's an inverter board. It's a part of the LCD driver that's also an audio driver that drives everything. So that's where the you've got 2 12s and 2 5s. So I would just go for the higher voltage and buck shift it down. So anyways, a lot of work, but that's latest and greatest update. Adapter works, so there you go. So you see all the different colors being shared between these two. And if you look really closely, probably can't see it on video, but it is slightly dimmer than the others, but I think it's only because that's me earnestly looking for it. Like, I think at face value for anybody else looking at it, they might not even notice. So, and then these are, I'm just calling them action buttons. That's what I have in my XML profile. This will still be start, 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 start. And then this I'll just use for like services, since the quarters are actually right there. And then what else? Oh, also these are shift keys. So I do shift keys. So these pressed together is to escape, since I switched the emulator to advanced MAME for all of the arcade side of things. And then this is a shift key. Either I can go like this from player one start to what would ordinarily be player two coin. I can either go like this, but I also set this one as a shift key. So I can either press and hold these and press that together, or press and hold this together. And then that activates service mode for the newer ROMs that recognize service mode instead of always having to work with dip switches.